Amy. Welcome back to Too Blessed. Today I am really excited because I am participating in the Look for Less challenge for May. This challenge is hosted every month by Yami over at the Latina Next Door. And basically this challenge is just that she asks us to find a piece of home decor of some kind and see if we can recreate that item ourselves, spending less money. And so I'm really excited to be participating in this challenge again. I participated in one sometime last year, and she, like I said, she hosts this challenge every month. So I'm really excited to get to do this again. And every month she chooses a different co-host for the challenge. And for this month, her co-host is Casey over at the channel called Coffee for My Sunshine. So I will have their channel information for both of them in my description box. If you want to check them out, you definitely should. And then there will also be a playlist of everybody who's participating in this challenge, and you should check those out too, because you will see some amazing projects in this challenge. So right now I'm going to talk about my project because I was really excited about this one. I actually have been working on this for a couple of weeks, but I've been thinking about it and planning it for several months now. And when I saw the announcement for this challenge coming up, I knew that this one was going to be perfect for this challenge. So the original inspiration for my project, I could not find a picture of it, oddly enough. So I saw the original item at Hobby Lobby when I was shopping, and I kept looking at it. I really loved it. I was thinking about how I could use it, and it was just way out of my budget, but I just kept thinking about it and trying to figure out how I could maybe make something similar. And finally one day I came up with an idea, and I'm so excited about it. So first I'm going to show you a picture that I did find online for a similar item, and I will insert that right here. So you can see it's kind of looks like maybe garden gates or something like that. And the one I saw at Hobby Lobby was very similar. It has a wooden frame, and down the center was also a piece of wood. The wooden frame part was painted like a sort of a grayish blue color, and it was really, really pretty. In fact, the one I had seen at Hobby Lobby, the iron work or the metal work that was inside was even more ornate than the picture that I showed. But like I said, then when I was planning to use this project for this challenge and I needed to find that inspiration picture, I could not find one. I went on Hobby Lobby's website, and apparently they don't sell that item on their website. And I have not had a chance to go back to Hobby Lobby in store and see if they still had it so that I could take a picture of it myself. So I found this similar picture online. Like I said, very, very close to the one at Hobby Lobby, to give you an idea anyway. The one at Hobby Lobby was, I believe, $100, if I remember. The picture of the one that I showed was $155. So both of those would be way out of my price range. And even the one at Hobby Lobby, even if I got it at 40 or 50% off, still a little steep. But and then when I came up with this idea for recreating it myself, I was really excited because honestly, I prefer to have something that I made anyway, as opposed to something store-bought. So I'm going to show you a picture. Well, I don't know. So my plan was with the, the original inspiration that I saw at Hobby Lobby, my thought was that I could cut it down the center and have two separate pieces. And you will see as the video goes along. Above our fireplace, I have an old mirror, just kind of a plain mirror. And I had thought to take a piece like that and cut it in half and put one piece on each side of the mirror to make it a more substantial display, I guess you would say. So that was my thought and what I was planning to do. So I'm going to go ahead and get into the video and start showing you what I did for this project. And then at the very end, I will show you the finished product. So I just want to say thank you before I get started to Yami and to Casey for hosting this challenge. I am really happy that I got to participate, and let's get started with the project. So here is a shot of what the fireplace looks like before I've started doing anything. So this mirror is going to be part of the project. Basically, the mirror frame is just going to get painted, and I'm going to be adding some embellishments to it. So it's not really going to change a whole lot. The mirror, I don't know if it's showing up on video very well. It doesn't exactly match the fireplace. It's really close in color, but it doesn't actually match. That is a mirror from an old dresser that we had in one of our extra bedrooms. And so I just took it and used it on the fireplace. It's actually just sitting on the mantle right now. And when I redo it, it's actually going to be hung on the wall, and it'll probably be up a little bit higher. I still have command hooks on the wall from when I had Christmas decorations up. And I have not gotten those down yet. So it's going to go up on the wall, like I said, a little closer to the ceiling. It's not going to be really, really high. But I think that's going to look a little better to have a little more height right there. Right now, I'm not planning on changing anything on the fireplace, really. I'm thinking about painting over those fake bricks, maybe with some kind of chalk paint. But if I do that, it's going to stay something that would be sort of stone looking. Or I might just paint it all white, because I don't really love those gray grout lines. So I'm thinking about doing that, but it's not really going to be part of this DIY video. That'll probably be a separate video where I will show that. So I just wanted to get some shots of like the decor, because some of that is going to change. I think most of the pieces are going to stay. The one thing I'm not sure about is this little blue lantern, because when I paint the mirror and the extra pieces that I'm building, they are going to be a shade of blue. So I'm not sure if that blue of that lantern is going to look okay with it. So I might be swapping out that one piece. But otherwise, I'll probably use the same decor, but it might just be arranged a little bit differently. The candle sconces on each side, those will be going away. Because the new pieces I'm building are going to go on either side of the mirror. And hopefully when I get done, the effect is going to be that it's kind of like a 3-piece set. You know, I want them to all look like they're supposed to be together. So that is the goal. So I'm going to go get started on this. And I'll probably insert some clips here of some of the items that I'm using before I start sort of dismantling them. This is the main piece that I am using for my project. I actually had 2 of these. So this one that I'm showing you is going to stay, at least for now, in this state. So it's a folding screen, and you can see it's got these openings in it. I'm just going to come in a little closer so I can show you. These are made to hold pictures. So there's an 8x10 opening, and right now I don't have anything in there, but there is a piece of plexiglass that fits in there, and then there's a backing that fits in and little clips that hold it in place. So that's what this is intended for. And like I said, I think I'm going to keep this one this way, at least for now, and it might even sit right here at this corner, kind of between the living room and dining room. I'm going to put some kind of pictures in there. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do. But anyway, there was 2 of them. These have traveled around in our family. Originally, I purchased these, I believe, for my mom, I think was how it started, as a gift for her. And she used them for years, and then she decided she didn't want them. And I think she gave them back to me. I had them for a while. I passed them on to one of my sisters. That sister passed them on to another sister. And now that sister was getting rid of them, and she asked me if I wanted them back. And I said, sure. So let me show you what I have started doing here, and it will kind of give you a little bit of an idea of what the end result is going to look like. And excuse my living room if you get a glimpse of it. It's a disaster right now. So what I did is I took the second screen and I took two of the sections and I cut them down so that there's just 3 openings. So you can see I've got both of those. This is how it's going to be arranged. The mirror in the center, and then the 2 sections on the side. Everything's going to get painted with chalk paint. Excuse me, I've got hiccups. I've got some paint ordered because I don't know 100% which color I'm going to use. I know it's going to be blue. And I'm going for kind of a grayish blue. And then I've got a dark wax that I want to put over that to distress it a little bit, make it a little bit darker. So those are the main pieces. And then what is going to go in the openings, let me pull one of these apart. These are floor mats that are made to go on your outdoor steps. So I got a set of 4 of them. They're made out of a really heavy-duty rubber, but they look like wrought iron. And so what is going to happen is I'm going to cut 8 by 10 pieces out of these mats, and that's what's going to go in those openings, is 3 pieces that will look like, hopefully, when we get done, that will look like wrought iron. So I'm really excited about these. All right, so here is the next step, and now you can start to get an idea of what the finished product is going to look like, at least a little bit. So these are my 2 side pieces, and I've got them just laying on this table. And I cut my mats, which I didn't get any video of doing that because I did it late at night and I just kind of didn't feel like it. But it was really simple to cut because what I did is I took one of the inserts for the screen, which is just a piece of plexiglass that, you know, you would put in the screen and then you would have a picture behind it. So this was this size, so all I did was lay it on the mat, and then I just used one of these utility knives to cut through it. It's very, very easy to cut, so that worked really well. I do need to go back. I don't know how well it shows up on camera, but you can see, like, this area right here especially. You can see where on that bottom edge, it's kind of messy. And there's quite a few spots like that. And I know that when it's hanging on the wall, that's going to be kind of noticeable. So I'm going to get a little tiny pair of scissors. I tried doing it with the utility knife and it just didn't cut very clean. So I'm going to try to find something that I can get in there, maybe an X-Acto knife or something like that, and clean up all those edges. But like I said, this kind of gives you an idea of what I'm going for. I had to patch a little bit at the corners down there, so I've done that already. And then up at the top, I'm going to be adding these little cutout pieces, or little decorative pieces that I ordered. I think I got those from eBay. So I'm going to have those, and then there's going to be a bigger one that's going to go on the mirror. And so the next step at this point, the rubber pieces are not attached in here at all. They're just laying on the table, because the next step is going to be that I'm going to start painting. So the paint that I'm using is this one. It's called Folk Art Home Decor Chalk Paint, and the color is called Cascade, and it's a real pretty blue color, so you'll see that. Once I start painting, I will show you what that looks like. So I'm going to start working on that next step. bottom on each one. And then what I did is I applied 2 coats of the chalk paint. And then I have applied a coat of clear wax. This is the one that I used. So I've applied the clear wax on there. I actually let it dry overnight. And now that I'm getting ready to do this next step, I applied another coat of clear wax on these decorative pieces because that's what I'm going to be working on. Excuse me. Now, I have never actually used chalk paint or these waxes before, so I am by no means an expert on using this or anything. I'm just kind of winging it. I've looked up a lot of YouTube videos on how to use these products, and so that's kind of what I'm going by, is different advice that I found on several different videos. So what I'm going to be doing with these decorative pieces here is I want to apply some dark wax that's going to make those stand out a little bit more. And so this is the dark wax that I bought. And now the clear wax, let me show you this real quick. The clear wax is a hard wax. You can see where I've used my brush to get in there. So the clear wax is a hard wax. This dark wax is much softer. It doesn't really, okay, it says dark paste wax, but it's very, very much softer than the clear one. I'm trying to get the lid off here so I can show you what it looks like. And there's this little protective piece that doesn't want to come off. Okay, so this is the dark wax, and it's still kind of pasty, but it's much softer than the clear wax. So what I found out by doing my research is that it's very important to put a coat of clear wax down before you use the darker wax, because the clear wax is going to actually protect your paint and keep that dark wax from sticking anywhere that you don't want it to. And I thought that was, I've been practicing on some pieces of scrap wood, and it's really pretty awesome. So I can put this dark wax on there, and since I've got that seal of the clear wax, I can wipe off any of the dark wax that I want to and only have it stay in the places that I want it. So first of all, I'm going to just put a coat all over this decorative piece. And first I have to adjust my lamp. Oops. Okay, so I'm going to apply a coat of the dark wax, just kind of staying on top and just going all over. Like I said, I'm going to be able to come back and wipe this off, so it kind of doesn't matter really where I put it, because I will be able to remove whatever I don't want. In fact, I just got some on the back here, and I'll be able to just take that off. So I'm just going to kind of coat all over. And right now it looks really dark and really messy. Now I'm just going to come back in. Now all the videos that I watch, they said to use a soft cloth like an old t-shirt or something like that. And I just didn't really have any cloths that I could use. So I'm just using a paper towel. And so far that has worked really good. I'm going to go back in and wipe up. I'm going to wipe up these smudges that I made first. The ones I don't want. Okay. And then I come back and I'm just wiping a good amount of this off, making a mess of my paper towel. But really all I want is, I want just a hint of this dark color to kind of make all the scroll work and everything stand out. So I don't want a lot. You can see I'm making a huge mess with this, but it's really easy to come back and clean up, so I'm not really worried about that right now. Okay, I'm actually going to put just a little bit more on, and that's the nice thing too is, you know, if you feel like you took too much off, you can put it back on, you can take it back off again. It's just very forgiving, is what I have found so far. So, clean up. Like in some places I get like a big glob of the wax, and so I'm cleaning that up because I just want it to look fairly soft, not a harsh aging, which is kind of what this dark wax gives you. It gives you like an aged look, not necessarily distressed, because I'm not a big fan of distressing. Like, you know, these pieces that I'm making, you could easily distress these and make them look very like farmhouse style, but I'm just not a big fan of distressing, like the chipped paint and things like that. But this just gives a nice little aged look, which I do like. That looks pretty good. And then one other tip that I saw also is you can take a little bit of the clear wax. I put just a little bit of the clear wax on my paper towel, and now I can go around just all around the edges, and that's going to clean up any little dark smudges from the dark wax. So just make it look nice and clean and not messy. And now I've got some big blobs of clear wax sticking on there. I've got to clean up a little bit. Okay. All right, so let me bring you in a little closer here. Show you. You can really see what it looks like there. I'm probably not, I'm going to say I'm not quite done with this yet. Sorry, trying to see if I can get a better angle, but my phone is still on the tripod. Okay, so there we go. But you can see how it, you know, it darkens that up and really lets you see all the detail of that piece, which is really pretty. So I'm going to be working on all of the other ones. Like I said, I've got the other side panel here, and then I've got the mirror, which has a bigger version of this decorative piece on it. So I'm going to be working on those, and then I will be back in a little while to show you the progress. All right, I just wanted to show you guys how I have decided to attach my fake wrought iron pieces inside these frames. I actually did the other one already because I wanted to try it out and see how it was going to work. So I did that a few days ago, and it seems to be holding up really well. So what I decided to do is just use some hot glue. So each piece has, on each side, it has a few spots that are nice and flat, like this. So what I did is I just put some hot glue on each of those flat pieces and put it inside. So let me show you that real quick here. And the easiest way I found to do it was actually to do one side at a time, because of course, you know, hot glue dries very quickly. So I did that one side, put those in there until they attached. And then what I can do is just kind of go along each side, finding those little spots. Now some of them, like this one, these sides aren't perfectly touching, but that glue is enough to kind of fill in the gap. And then along this side, I'm just going to do these little ends here. And I'm not even using a ton of glue. The nice thing about this too is it makes sure that the piece is exactly where I want it. And that hot glue is going to be enough to hold it where it should be. So I'm going to do this one here. I'm going to do this one on this side as well. Okay. And then what I did is I went back and on the spots where I glued it to the side, I just put, I don't know if this is going to be in frame here. Let me back up my camera. So like, for example, right here, I had glued this piece, and now I'm just going to put a little bit of hot glue over that, kind of just a little zigzag of glue. And my theory is that if that hot glue on the side would loosen, the hot glue on the back is going to keep it from popping out. And of course, these are going to be hung on the wall, so I don't really feel like there's any chance that those pieces are going to like fall out. All right, guys, here is the finished product. You can see that the mirror is hanging in the center, and then I hung the two side pieces. So they're all separate pieces to make it a little bit easier. But I'm so happy with how it turned out. I really love them. And I think adding those little decorative pieces at the top and using the dark wax on those kind of helped tie together the black that's in the fake wrought iron pieces. So here's one of the side panels. And then I've got all of my sort of everyday decor back here. I'm trying to back up and let you see what it all looks like. So there's the whole thing, and I think it just looks really, really pretty. I am so happy with how this turned out. So there's the whole thing. I haven't done anything else with the fireplace yet. We're still discussing it because I mentioned to my husband that I wanted to paint those fake bricks and he likes them. So we'll see what happens there. I really don't love them. I would like to change that, but we shall see. So for now, it's going to stay the same. Excuse me. So as far as the cost here, it wasn't very much because, of course, the mirror I already had. That didn't cost me anything. The screen I already had, so that was another free item. I did pay for the wrought iron floor mats that I bought. I was hoping to only use 2 of them. I ended up having to use 3. So it worked out that those cost me about $22. And then all of the other supplies and the paint that I bought, because of course I didn't use everything, was probably about $10. And then I paid just a few dollars for those little decorative pieces. I think the most expensive one was $4, and those smaller ones were $4 for all of them. So adding that up really quickly, I should have done this before. That puts me at $32, $36, right at $40. So $40 for those 2, basically for the 2 side pieces, but then I also painted the mirror. As opposed to my inspiration piece that I showed, which was like $155, or the one I saw at Hobby Lobby that was $100. So I still saved a good amount of money, and I am very happy with the result that I got. And I wanted to show you guys one last little thing. This is the extra piece that I had left over from that screen because it had 3 panels. And basically what I did is I just painted it. I had a couple of those decorative pieces left over that I added. So I painted it, and I'm using it in the corner over here as like a blanket ladder. Just as a decorative piece. I thought it would be kind of nice to use that and not let it go to waste. So I just kind of added that in as a little bonus project.